Since early March of this year, we've had significant flooding along the Missouri and Mississippi rivers. The impacts have been tremendous to both the travelers and the businesses in the area. At one point, we had over 300 roadways closed in the state of Missouri.
Whether it be the river or the railroads operating is a big deal. As farmers, that's where our money comes from. If we can't get it from our bins to town, which right now we have a big problem, we don't have any money to rely on. Right now, we don't have a future crop this year until the water goes down.
We moved out of our house on May 31st. The levee broke the following morning about noon, and we've been displaced from our home since that time. We had volunteers traveling up to 90 miles to come be part of the sandbagging effort. Without the efforts of groups like the National Guard and with the Department of Corrections being able to supply us with additional bodies, that does become tiresome on a community. But what we've kind of seen around here is that we're a resilient community that really hangs together.
We use sandbags exclusively in '08. The Corps of Engineers sat down with me here and they talked to me about using 1-inch minus rock. We got it moved in and made it on their suggestion. Had we not done that, I don't think we could have saved the town that time. Forward to 19, we decided this time that we would start with that and then capped it off with sandbags. And see, we've been at this since March 15th. Every building on the riverfront street here was certainly affected one way or another. In some of them, the water coming up through the floor, because whatever level the river is whatever level the water level is in town. And if you've got a basement, it's going to fill. We have a number of people who will not be able to assess what the damage is until this river gets down further. We had all kinds of volunteers come here, and there was always somebody saying, well, I'm going to here, and I'm going to get this and this and this for these people, and that, what can I get for you? I mean, it's the norm. It's not the unusual, it's the norm here. We want to do whatever is best to allow this community to continue to exist, thrive, and teach people about the Mississippi River. Because in spite of how we feel about it today, it is a wonderful part of our life. We just need to take care of it and make sure that river works in our behalf.
The flooding was an issue. The tornado it was unfathomable that was happening here. That night we were strictly dealing with, trying to see who needed help and try to save as many as we could.
With it being at night, there was a lot of things we were relying on. Once the power grid went down, of course, that was putting us in a position where we were searching by light.
Going through the night and having the power lines down and seeing the amount of destruction, it was pretty incredible to see the amount of cleanup that came through. I mean, MoDOT was using snow plows to clear roads so that emergency vehicles and things could get in, and getting the power lines cleared and getting things safe.
Once we knew just before midnight that we had confirmed damage here in the city and there was an actual tornado that had touched down, we started calling in personnel. We started working. We set up our emergency operations center. At one point, the governor had the National Guard on standby before we even knew how bad it was. One of the first press conferences, Governor Parsons came to and said, we are here to help. And so that was in the back of our minds. We knew that it was not just going to be us doing it.
My husband and I are the owners of this place that I'm standing, the place that used to be standing here, yes. There is a lot of heart, soul, and sweat equity that we put into this building. So to see it wiped out in a 10-minute time frame, as completely as it did, not even just one section of the building, but every building over here that I have has been knocked out. And at that point, it kind of hit me, and I said, the building isn't special. The building was an empty, vacant shell when I bought it, and we made it special. We're gonna do that again.
Even though it's more than one disaster, and some of these disasters are things like our city has never seen to date. We've never seen this kind of damage and destruction really from anything that's hit our city. But despite that, we've come together and done everything we can to get our community back on its feet. And it's gonna be a long process, but we'll get there.
You know, it was a scary time whenever you seen the damage, especially when I was coming in, I seen all the damage in just this downtown area. But it was awe-inspiring too to see everyone working together like they did.
The amount of people that showed up and just walked out here and was helping and supporting, that to me is phenomenal.
It was a situation where I can say the community as a very, very large whole came together and helped.